John from Peach Guitars here, and we've got Tom from 440 Distribution and Dan from Godin Guitars, and they're going to give you a run through of what's new with Godin and the family of brands, and let us know what's cool. Cheers.
So yours, Tom.
Thanks, Johnny boy. So hi everyone. So this guy next to me is Daniel Fiocco, or Dan. And
nice to meet you.
And he is the head designer and head luthier at Godin Guitars. So he runs a team of guys, and we've been having some fascinating chats about what you do and why you do it and the woods you use, and maybe dispel some of the myths about maybe you've heard some stuff that's maybe unusual to you, but Daniel can explain some stuff. So
of course.
One of the things that Daniel told me today was that cedar's not cedar, right?
Oh, you mean Spanish?
Well, yeah. So we make this Godin Summit Classic, and on the spec sheet it's marked being made with Spanish cedar.
Spanish cedar, or we call it also mahogany, because it's a type of mahogany. It has nothing to do with cedar at all, and it's not Spanish. It's from South America. It's a wood that's been called Spanish cedar because for a long time it was used for the same reasons. Like in the 19th century, they would build those cabinets out of Western red cedar. Cedar is very aromatic, and the bugs don't like it, so they stay out of there. Well, Spanish cedar, they would do the same thing. That's why they got very, very popular with cigars. They do humidor boxes with those. So, and for guitar building, it's a traditional wood for classical guitar necks. Very, very popular with classical guitars, and we use it because it sounds like mahogany, but it's a bit less heavy. So it balances out the guitar very, very nicely.
Yeah, man. So cedar's, it's a mahogany. Yeah. So it's crazy stuff. So the neck is
it's
Spanish cedar as well, Honduran.
Mahogany, yeah.
Okay, so essentially we've got two South American mahogany woods used together, but there's a reason why you're using Honduran. Why is that?
Honduras is a bit denser, so you want to have that punch in the sound. You want to have that impact. And the body, it's mahogany. So what mahogany does, the grain pattern is all over the place. So it'll even out the sound. Maple will ring very, very loud on certain frequencies, and you won't hear it on other frequencies. That's why there's a thick, not so thick sheet of maple, and under that there's Spanish cedar. So you get the high frequencies from the top, and you get the bass and the warmth and the evenness from the back.
Cool, man. So when you're designing guitars, you'll have several prototypes put together, and you'll use different wood combinations, or do you know what works when you get to the design, so to speak?
Yeah, it's like all that wood is available for us. We're from Canada. We have a lot of choice on woods. We import some woods that don't grow in Canada, and to use the right wood at the right place is a key factor to make a really good guitar.
Cool, man. So tell me about the new Summit series. I'll just put this back.
Yeah.
So this is a brand new model for NAMM 2018, and Daniel was instrumental in designing the guitar. So tell me what we're using here.
So this is a very affordable guitar, and it's an incredible guitar. The body is Laurentian basswood. It's a basswood that grows in Quebec, in the north of Quebec, and this basswood is much heavier, actually much denser, not really heavier than basswood that you really see on Asian guitars. So it still has good character, but also it evens out the sound. Again, what's too loud will be tamed down, and what's more subtle will be able to live.
So this, because it's Canadian Quebec, I guess it's got a slow growing season, is that? Yeah, and that has a tonal
Quebec
benefit.
Is a freezing province, Right now it's super cold, so the trees take a lot of time to grow, so they're denser and they're smaller, and they make wood like that. And on this guitar, if you only use wood like that, you're gonna get problems with the sound. So we're using soft maple for the neck, which is gonna bring that punch back, and the combination of both is just a great combination.
So when you say soft maple, for a neck, that to my ears, so soft. You don't want soft wood for neck, but is it just soft in comparison? Because all maple is really hard, isn't it?
In Quebec, there's two types of maple that grow.
Right.
Sugar maple, which is hard rock maple, known for that classic 6-in-line neck there. And soft maple is a softer maple. It's more of a grayish color, and the softer sound will give more bass to the instrument. It still brings some high frequencies because it's maple.
Yeah.
But it's like between the hard rock and mahogany. It's like a real transition between both.
Yeah. So you get the bottom end, so you get the bit more looseness at the bottom end because it's not as dense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what about putting a rosewood fingerboard on that? What does that do?
Well, rosewood fingerboard, I think of AC/DC. I teach guitar making in a college, and I tell them, okay, rosewood fingerboard, I punch a chord, I hear that big fat sound. If I put ebony, I'm going to hear frill. I'm going to hear 6 independent strings. Rosewood will give you that super loud and fat sound that we're all used to.
Yeah. And we're using a bit of Richlite because of the CITES export issues that we're all having in the guitar world, because we need anything that leaves Canada needs a export certificate, and anything that I bring into the UK and sell to Johnny at Peach, I need to have an import license for.
Exactly.
So we're using Richlite. So tell me the difference tonally between Richlite and Indian Rosewood.
Okay, well, first of all, I have to say that we've been using Richlite for a longer time that CITES has been around. So we decided to use Richlite, not because it's a cheaper solution. It's actually more expensive than ebony. It's just that the ebony that you can find these days is not the quality you could find like 20 years ago.
Right.
And Richlite just sounds so good, and it brings a lot of advantages that even ebony doesn't have. So it's a nice, detailed, punchy sound, and it's very, very low maintenance. It's actually a fingerboard that you could just drop water on it and nothing will happen. Compared to a bare wood, rosewood fingerboard, I would never say that. You couldn't put water there. So the sweat from the fingers are never an issue.
Right.
The density of Richlite is great for sound. It just sounds really good. It makes a nice punchy sound.
Cool, man.
So it's and it's environmentally interesting for us to use it, and it saves what's left of ebony.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And you designed this one. This is part of the new Summit CT range.
Yeah,
I do like P90s, and I do like one P90 on the guitar. So
it's amazing. It's amazing, and sometimes a one pickup guitar will scare people. Oh, it's going to be limited. This guitar is so versatile. You bring the volume down, and you're in a total different territory.
Yeah.
The pickup sounds really good. It's an Alnico dog ear pickup, and the dog ear pickup has a metal frame under it. And when you're sticking metal to the pickup, you take those highs a bit down, and you bring that fatness back up. And I'm really proud to say this is a fully adjustable dog ear pickup. It's mounting on springs, and it's an innovation that we've done at Godin Guitars. And thinking of the future, someone buys this guitar, there's only one pickup. We pre-routed a second cavity right here for P90s, humbuckers, and single coils. Everything fits in there, and the passage for the wiring is all done. There's even a pilot hole for a switch. So in 10 years, the person that buys this guitar wants to convert it to a 2 pickup guitar. We thought about that.
That's good.
Already.
Was that your idea, man? It's a genius idea, man.
Because it's the same price. When we started a project like that, it's to think everything that we can do to satisfy the customer and show that we're doing the extra mile.
Yeah, I love the idea, man. So all you'd have to do is make cut the scratch plate.
Actually, we're gonna make scratch plates for it.
Oh yeah, okay.
That fits hole for hole. So
great. So you can just get a scratch plate ordered up from Canada and
exactly. Either
great
you
idea.
go see your favorite luthier, or if you're handy with your hands, one day you wake up Saturday morning, start the coffee machine, and let's add a pickup.
Yeah, man, brilliant. Now, when I first came to the booth yesterday, actually Wednesday, we had a pre-meeting, didn't we? We went through this guitar. I love this finish, man. And you were instrumental in this finish as well, weren't you? So
yeah, this is a
we've got
really
this,
cool.
Yeah. So
finish.
this is a Stadium 59. Let me just get it up. Thanks, Johnny. So tell me, man. So this is a metallic green. You calling it desert?
It's
green.
called desert green, and the first idea came. We started with the movie Bullet with Steve McQueen, and we really appreciated that color. But then we looked at it; it was too much forest green, and we started looking those metallic greens, and we fell on this Chrysler Mopar 1968 type of green, and we really fell in love with it.
It's
and
lovely,
we said
man.
we have to make a guitar with this. And on our acoustic guitars, we have a line called Art and Lutherie that we develop a type of stain, which you see here. This is soft maple again. No, sorry, it's hard rock maple.
Yeah.
And we stain it and color it, and it gives this
Contrasts
amazing
really well,
finish.
doesn't
And
it?
the combination of both with the rosewood fingerboard,
Yeah.
it's a real winner.
It looks like that really like faded Pelham blue. I would see a really
Yeah.
old SG.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, nice. And you, this is something you came up with again?
No, this is a new bridge design that
Right.
one of our suppliers got for us,
Yeah.
and it's totally amazing because it conserves all the character of this type of classic bridge. Yet the saddles, just by unlocking this screw here, the saddle will pivot. You know, before those type of bridges, you can never get proper intonation with it, but this one you can get it and still get that snappy, twangy sound that you're used from hearing from that
Yeah.
type of bridge.
And there's a wee little cutout here for
Yeah.
so you can palm mute if you want to without resting on-
Exactly, and when you're passing with your pick, you never hit the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
So they did this, they did it on the other
Man.
side.
I like how it matches the angle of the pickup.
Exactly, and one last thing is that when you rest your hand on this bridge, you're not cutting your hand. Those type of bridges, when you're playing, they can be very uncomfortable. These ones, they thought about that.
Cool, man. Love it.
It's really cool.
And this is a Seymour Duncan 59.
59, yeah.
Lovely. And what's this little switch here for?
The HDR. The HDR is the innovation that Godin Guitars came up with. It's a very subtle way. It's an effect that's very subtle that was designed for clean sound. It re-EQs the frequency curve for more punch, more of everything, that the right frequencies that you're actually exciting when you're playing. So you can use it without width, and it brings your pickup as a passive pickup to an active pickup with that added EQ touch.
So there's no battery compartment, but it's in the back. Lasts about 4 years, is it?
The battery lasts up to 5 years, sometimes even more. So you just remove the screws in the back, and the battery is very well located there.
Nice, lovely
Can be
that.
changed
And that's
in
about
seconds.
£1,250 in the UK.
Yeah.
That guitar. This, keeping on the green theme. So this is a Montreal Premier that has the Seymour Duncan P rails.
Yeah.
So you got a P90, a humbucker, and a single
And a
coil.
single coil, yeah. It may look like a Swiss knife type of thing, but it's actually very, very usable. These pickups, we tried them. We were a bit apprehensive because sometimes those inventions, the musicians don't follow. But these things sound so good. When you put the P90 mode, it sounds not just like a P90, it sounds like a very good P90.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very cool. And the roller bridge with the Bigsby makes the guitar stay in tune.
Yeah,
very
so
well.
that mitigates the strings sticking and pinging around.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man. And you've got a block, you might be able to see there, but you've got a breathe-through core, like a trestle bracing inside. So you've got a solid bit of spruce that runs through.
Exactly.
So all the pickups are mounted on that.
It's a spruce block that's been hollowed at the right spot, so you retain that feedback control.
Yeah.
It's not a fully hollowed guitar, but it's not a fully solid body guitar either. It's some sort of a transition between both. So it's got great tonal character. It can kick when you really, really hit it hard, and it can give you those subtle frequencies when you're asking a bit more.
Well,
softness.
there was on single coil mode. They was doing a very good Strat impression. I thought it's unbelievable.
This guitar is so versatile. It's like the only guitar you could own, and you'd be happy.
Yeah. And there's a new session. Just let's have a look at this. There you go. Well, I'll leave it there for Wolfie to take you photos. So that's the Session Limited Series. So what we doing there? So we've got Seymour Duncan in the back. What pickup is that?
That's the SH2. SH11, sorry.
Okay. So we've got the Gold Burst, the blue and the trans red. Or no, it's a sparkle red, isn't
We
it?
call those desert silver gold,
Yeah,
desert red, and desert blue.
cool. And there, is that coil tap that to pick up in the back?
It's coil tap, yeah. So
Yeah.
you can get those cool in between sounds.
And then it's got a little brother, the Session series.
Yeah, our award-winning session series that we can't just build enough of. We're always, all of our production is sold. Those guitars for the value, they're unbeatable.
Yeah. The trem's quite interesting on these. Let's just dig it out.
Yeah, this trem is another.
It's quite cool. So what we got here?
It's the Trulock trem that we came up with. It's a tremolo that, first of all, it's a 2-point tremolo. If you turn it, it's holding from only 2 points, and the plate is Rockwell 45, so it's very, very hard steel. So what happens is that the knife edge will never fold. The contact is just perfect all the time. And we came up, if you turn again, we came up with a longer spring cavity. And we use a special spring that's a very soft spring. So what happens is that you have to pull those a bit more, but they work in a very linear way.
Okay.
You never get a dead spot.
Right.
One thing you notice on this tremolo, if you hold the strings and you make the arm go up and down, you never hear like crackling sounds.
Right.
If you hear crackling sounds, your guitar's not going to be in tune. Because it's actually blocking somewhere and releasing blocking.
Yeah.
It's not going to stay.
And that's where the instability comes from.
This is super quiet operation. It sounds really, really good. Very usable. We actually set those guitars with the tremolo leaning forward about a full step. When you're pulling down to the body, you get about a full step. So you get a nice floating effect from this tremolo. If you don't like it, you just adjust it so it rests on the body. And it will.
Lovely. Cool, man. There's quite a few new things in the multi-act world and the acoustic world. So shall we go have a look at what you've been doing? You've been a busy guy, haven't you?
I'm very, very busy.
Yeah,
My
cool.
team is very, very busy.
Yeah, cool. Right, let's look. We're back in a second. We'll go over to the multi-act and the Art Luthier range. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.